So it's not as if, but he made and he managed to actually sell that by doing the personalized service, that it's not according to, and that's where, when they say that we are going to help you buy, is actually is the personalization. And this is exactly what I was also saying, that you have to get into a customer's mind is by asking these sort of questions. So I mean, the fact of the matter is the way you dress is the way you get addressed. That's a fact of life. And that's what one needs to really understand, where they are coming from, what kind of customer she is, and what exactly she's looking for. So.
Only one thing I want to add here is the way we communicate with our team, with our staff, is extremely important. Because same thing they will pass on when they speak to the customers. If you are not communicative, इनको क्या बताना है हम क्या कर रहे हैं? So they will also behave same without saying a word. Without them actually knowing this is happening, this will happen. So I think we need an entire paradigm shift as to how we are really doing the business. Does that help? Thank you. Yes.
Hi, question. Question for Ashish Bhai. Question for Ashish Bhai. The big talk, obviously, in the last 3-4 years has been lab-grown diamonds. Sorry to bring this up. You can cut the cameras off if you want. We sell a lot of jewelry in the US, and it's welcomed with open arms. The numbers are out there. How are retailers supposed to address this? I'm a manufacturer, but how are retailers addressing this in India? One, and should there be a formal approach of openly educating them or waiting for them to ask questions? Because I have a lot of friends who ask me, "Abhi to ye ho gaya, wo ho gaya." So I'm just a lab-grown scenario in India, if you can.
I think lab-grown is here to stay and grow substantially. Earlier there was the issue of disclosure, but I think that is taken care of now. But from the retailer's point of view, as I told you, for us it is critical why the customer is coming and buying from us. So in that case, under the same roof, having both natural real diamonds and lab-grown doesn't work. There will be some dissonance in the consumer's mind. So if we go into that lab-grown sphere, we'll have a separate brand and a separate distribution channel. I think that's the best way forward, because under one roof having both the things is tricky for the consumer as well as for the retailer. So it's a separate brand, separate distribution channel, I think is most critical for me. Yeah.
Thank you.
One last question. Sorry, you wanted to add something, Prasad?
Yeah, no, so one, I agree that, it will vary from retailer to retailer. One thing is very, very clear, if this is going to be the future and, this is where the change of mindsets is happening with the consumers. See, the way a retailer, if he wants to keep it in his store, is also the fact that he, the same, any kind of a design, you can make it in silver, you are offering it in gold, you also can offer it in platinum. So there is nothing wrong to keep it under one roof itself, provided, of course, you have enough differentiation factor done and there is enough way of actually having those differentiations. So there's nothing wrong. It's just another choice that you're giving to the consumers. So, or even the other option, which I totally also agree, is that you have two different distribution channels. But again, coming back to the fact that when the consumers are changing and the consumer mindsets are changing, one we have to change. And more than that, it's like, our mindsets as retailer is about pushing a rope. Right? So that's the way we see it as sales, कि मेरे पास जो है वो मुझे बेचना है. Consumer को क्या चाहिए वो आप सोच नहीं रहे हो, so that what I call it is the marketing, which is pulling the rope. You can pull a rope, but you can't push a rope. So that's why one needs to understand the consumer and then again decide your own factor. Thank you.
One last. Can you sit and ask the question because they are? Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
To Prasad, and anyone else can take it. Artificial intelligence is mining, churning, analyzing terabytes of data in CRM, that's customer relation management, product purchase. What is your take with regard to the Indian G&J industry? How much of AI machine learning is deployed to churn and analyze this data?
In the gems and jewelry industry, you mean? Well, in the gems and jewelry, of course, miles to go, absolutely miles to go. But yes, in most of the other industries, AI is there. And eventually it's going to come into the gems and jewelry also. And again, AI would be used more again to do the consumer analysis than actually, and based on that consumer analysis is your product, will keep changing and shifting, for sure. Or even in the marketing. Now, today we already have brand ambassadors which are AI generated. Right? So, I mean, you perhaps won't need Aishwarya Rai's and Salman Khan's of the world to endorse your brand. You can create your own brand ambassador, which then eventually, I mean, it's almost like saying what Maharaja did for Air India. Right? As long as that Maharaja, that as a mascot, is very much ingrained in everybody's mind, even after they have withdrawn it, it's still there in people's mind. So similarly, that's what is going to happen. Of course, Maharaja was a physical mascot at times. Here, it's all going to be AI generated. But as I said, it will be more towards actually the consumer learnings and understanding the consumers, and based on that, it will be used effectively, and then eventually into the marketing. But it has to reflect in your product.
And the youngest
Can I?
Karan, anything with AI?
Yeah, definitely. At the moment in our industry, like I mentioned earlier, technology we are not using, we're hardly using. Probably like less than, I don't know the exact numbers, but less than 10% of the retailers or manufacturers would be using cutting edge technology to do anything in the industry. And if we have to reach out to AI, I think we'll have to first master technology, get to the tech aspect, understand what technology can do to our industry, to me as a manufacturer, to somebody else as a retailer, to somebody else as a wholesaler, then move on to AI, because this is a learning step where first you try to understand what technology can do to you, then you try to understand how you can automate this technology and how you can bring in AI to the business. A very small example, my first experience with AI with our industry was where I saw a product at the Hong Kong show last year, where there was this a box where you can click photography and upload it on your website and for your clients to view and stuff. So this would automatically connect your website to connect the box to Shopify, and then the AI would automatically read what kind of product it is. Let's say it's one solitaire with 2 emeralds on the sides, and the AI would automatically read it, and it would give a text brief to what the product is. It would even understand what kind of color is there in the gold. Let's say it's rose gold, and like I mentioned, one solitaire with 2 emeralds, and it would give a nice caption. It would give itself a nice name, and all you have to do is enter the number of diamond weights and your gold weights and everything, and next thing you know, it's already live on your website. So you could probably like save a lot of time and manpower and get that particular person who's doing this to do something else, because this particular aspect of your work is going to be slowly automated using AI.
Yeah. Actually, another interesting use case for AI and machine learning is, your merchandising or inventory management. At Gem and Jewelry Skill Council, we had a project with IIT Bombay where we used ML and AI for predictive, demand forecasting. So that is, I think, most critical, use case for AI. But unfortunately, as you know, AI is as good as the data that you have. And when we started that project, the task was to get data from the retailers. No one had a very mature kind of data, exact wheels what I wanted. Right. So they were falling short of that. So as the industry understands and start getting the right kind of data, capturing right kind of data, AI will come in.
Just to add here, Ashish bhai, see, you may not have the data, but the fact is the data is available. And I'll give you one example which I recently did with Tanishq, actually. And, where there are softwares available, where they have a tie-up with Meta, they have a tie-up with Google, they have tie-up with various different such software companies, where they have over 12 billion users all over the world. So they have a data of 12 billion people at this point in time, which of course you can filter by the age factor, demographics, psychographics, the way you want it. And there it can actually give you, within 3 minutes, if you're evaluating all 12 billion. So it takes only 3 minutes, and they'll tell you exactly what the consumer in which part of the world wants or is looking for. That's one. And it just doesn't stop there. It further gives, the idea that what kind of creative you want to build in, right? And that, again, when you put another filter that apart from jewelry, what exactly are they interested in? And if let's say even if it's sports, and the example that I was talking about, Tanishq, is recently I did some project with Tanishq and Sachin Tendulkar, where he's actually, it's all about solitaires. So, because Tanishq wanted to push solitaires, and I wanted to actually celebrate Sachin's centuries. so what we did was we created 100 diamonds, century of centuries. So we created 100 limited edition diamonds, and each diamond was exactly as per what he scored, because 1 carat in any case is a century, right? So if he has scored 164, that it is 1.64 carat diamond, So that's the way we actually did it, limited edition. But then the question was, where do we place these 100? Which store? Because they have 400 stores. And here this AI actually helped us, where we did this filters of, who's looking for solitaires and who's looking for sports, or who loves sports, or who loves cricket, or who loves Sachin. These were the kind of parameters. And within, seconds, we knew that these are the 100 locations
What
where we can
database
put
did
it.
you apply these filters?
Sorry?
What database did you apply these filters?
This was Meta. All Facebooks and all Instagram users, and WhatsApp users.
That gave you whether Gorakhpur is the target or Calcutta is the target.
That's right. So we got 100 locations. So immediately, and obviously they put one diamond there.
So when I said lack of data, supposing this AI ML engine is ready, and a jeweler in Pune wants to do it, but his own business data, if it's not rich enough, then he falls flat. Then he has to slowly keep building his data, or capturing data, not building data, capturing data. And then on top of it, the machine, that engine works, then the right answers will be rolled out.
Thank you all. You.
Yes. You are part of it, right? Okay. Yes, I know. So that project had 2 parts. One was manufacturing and casting improvement, and we did for retail.
So combining resources and getting some answers out of it.
Right. But everyone's data is structured differently, so getting it right is a problem.
So thank you all panelists for your
Thank you.
insights and helping us to understand this more. Thank you audience for being here. And of course, GJPC for creating this platform.
So we are all surrounded by amazingly priced stuff around the world. But one priceless tip that comes our way is time. And that's exactly what we're struggling here with. Otherwise, I think you had just the right audience, and the audience had just the right panel to take this discussion further. But I'm sure you guys will stay connected in some form or the other. So yes, thank you one and all. I'm going to request Ajay to please step forward. And to our panelists, we have a small token of appreciation coming your way. Probably something that's going to last depending on how well it's been taken care of. This happens to be part of our One Earth initiative as well. So we are happy to share this with you. Yeah, Ajay, I think you can be part of this snapshot. Thank you. No, ma'am, that's fine. Thank you, gentlemen.